The 2020 XXL Freshman Class just came out. 12 artists this time around. Calboy, Choppa, Lil Keed, Chika, Lil Tjay, Baby Keem, Jack Harlow, Polo G, 24K Golden, Fivio Foreign, Mulatto, and Rod Wave. Who knows how the freestyles and ciphers are gonna go? Is this something that took place before March? Is it something that's taken place after March? And why are there so many artists on this list? I feel like they're compensating for something that we'll get to in a little bit. But let's knock out the obvious ones that were guaranteed a spot that I've talked about so many times on this channel. Polo G, Lil Tjay, Choppa, Jack Harlow, and Fivio Foreign. Those 5 artists were guaranteed from the start of everything. You know these dudes. If you don't, you're a casual, and that's fine. I always find it hilarious, and I think the people that comment this also think they're funny, but whenever someone says, who? I don't know any of these artists. Rap's dead. They clearly don't listen to rap. They must listen to country, K-pop, opera shows. I don't know what they listen to, but it's definitely not rap. You don't have to like these dudes to know who they are. You've definitely heard one of their songs. So we can move past those 5 and talk about guys who were 50-50 with me for making the cover. Not because they're not known, but because I felt like XXL's history, they wouldn't put them on the cover. The biggest artist, no pun intended, of these next 4 artists is Rod Wave. I always make 3 or so prediction videos on who I feel XXL will pick for the cover, Rod Wave being one of those guys. I also put him in another video titled 10 rappers who won't make the cover. Not because he's a bad artist, just because I felt if you're choosing 10 artists, the 10 artists that I originally had chosen, it was a good 10, and I felt like you couldn't squeeze Rod Wave in there. But if you're going with 12, yeah, definitely. Which leads us into talking about Baby Keem, the one hopeful bright spot that not a lot of people know, but maybe a lot of people know because his song got blown up on TikTok, and yeah, RIP TikTok. He had one of my favorite albums last year, Kendrick Lamar's Cousin, Destined for Greatness, right? Now, one thing I will say about this, I'm worried about Baby Keem, because if you look at the picture, the cover, he looks photoshopped in there. That doesn't look like that picture that they have of him. That does not look like a XXL studio picture. That looks like a random picture they found on the internet, photoshopped him in there. And the intro video that they uploaded, Baby Keem had no part in that. He didn't have any lines, and he was only in there for a split second. So I'm worried that he's gonna pull a Gunna. Only did the interview, no freestyle, no cypher. I hope I'm wrong because he is extremely talented, but also super low key. So that's why I felt originally I would have loved to see him on it, but he wouldn't be an artist to accept it because he's Drake's favorite rapper, and he seems like a guy not to do it. Next is 24K Golden, another artist that kind of blew up off TikTok. I don't really know how to describe his sound, like rock, rap, fusion. He's like a newer artist that does this. That's the cool trend to do, like Ian Dior, Kid Leroy, something along those lines. He has a couple of good songs, but that's really about it. Just a couple of good songs, and maybe this is his chance to grow after being on the cover. Then the last of the 4 that I mentioned I was 50-50 on is Calboy. He had a blow up song in 2018, 2019, Envy Me, thanks to TikTok. Man, I'm really happy that TikTok is gone. Am I old for saying that? I might be old. I might be an old head. Who knows? But he hasn't really done anything in 2020. He got taken off a Pop Smoke song and then was added to the deluxe version of it with like 50 more songs on it. Rest in peace, Pop. You know, it sucks what they're doing to your album, but yeah, Calboy's cool. Which leads us into the last 3 artists that I want to talk about that a lot of people will probably say who, and I'm asking not who, I'm asking why on 2 of them, and then I'm asking who on 1 of them. So the artist I'm asking why Lil Keed? What has he done apart from being under Young Thug and people hyping him up to be the next Lil Baby and Gunna with Lil Gotit? I hope this is not a trend where next year Lil Gotit is on it, because Lil Gotit is by far one of the worst rappers I've ever heard. Lil Keed's acceptable, but I just hope Lil Gotit isn't on it next year. Plus, Keed hasn't really took off like he was supposed to. He had some hype in 2018, 2019, but I feel like that's kind of fizzled out, and maybe this is a way to help him get a little buzz back around his name. The next artist we're asking why XXL is having Mulatto on the cover. I just found out about it like 2 days ago because YouTube was constantly putting a video of her in my recommended, so I clicked it, had Gucci Mane on it, sat through a little bit, clicked off before Gucci even started rapping. If I wanted to listen to Meg Thee Stallion or Cardi B, I would listen to their music, but I'm definitely not. I feel like this is a label push that her label did to get her on the cover, to have a little traction and have all these females feel empowered while listening to her music. There was definitely a better female choice to have, but XXL chose her because sex sells, I guess. So yeah, I don't think she'll have the staying power as prior XXL females. I know they really want a repeat of Meg Thee Stallion, but Meg Thee Stallion got so big to the point where no matter if I've never listened to one of her songs before, I ended up listening to one of her songs, and her Beyonce song, Beyonce might be my favorite rapper after that remix, but thanks to TikTok. So once again, I'm glad TikTok is gone, or soon to be gone at least. Last but not least, Chika. This is the one artist out of the 12 artists I've never heard of. I've never heard any of her songs. So right now, live recording this, let's hop over to Spotify and see which one of her songs has the most amount of views. I'll click it, see if I've heard it. Let's go. Okay, getting strong Tierra vibes here. Is she like as good as Tierra with hardly any songs out right now? Yep. This is another Tierra situation. I hope she blows up. It sounds good. The problem with having an artist like this is that Tierra hasn't done anything, and maybe in the next few years Tierra will be really popular or have a blow up song that everybody knows, but I feel like Chika's trajectory is Tierra. I mean, it sounds really similar, but with so few songs out, this is a clear label connect telling XXL put them on. Or maybe XXL has just like a whole female rap category where they just listen to female rappers, and that's how they pick for diversity reasons. So that's the cover. I think it's pretty good on paper of artists that are popular right now and will probably be popular in the near future. So the one thing I worry about also is, are freestyles and ciphers going to be a thing with all the events going on around the world? It really depends on when they filmed the cover, and it's definitely not fun to talk about without ciphers and freestyles. They haven't posted anything yet, so I'm assuming in the next coming days there will. So might as well give you my predictions on who I want to see in each cipher group. So cipher number 1, the best cipher, I feel like Lil Tjay, Polo G, Fivio, Foreign, and Calboy. 3 out of those 4 artists are stars of the cover. Name power alone, that is definitely a lot of views coming in. Plus all of these artists have the chemistry with each other, so this one is going to be perfect if it happens. Pop Smoke would definitely have been on this cipher if he was still alive, and honestly, if he was on the cover, which he was going to be, this cipher group, I'm not sure about the cover, but this cipher group alone could have been as iconic as the whole 2016 ciphers of Lil Uzi, Denzel. I really feel like that, but now that might not be the case. And then it gets weird and difficult to categorize the rest of the artists on the cover because their styles complement each other, but at the same time you have to incorporate other artists that don't really. So cipher number 2, Choppa, Mulatto, and then this is where it gets a little tricky. Throw in Rod Wave, I guess. He's gonna be crying while they're rapping about killing people and female parts, which gets even weirder because 24K Golden doesn't fit any of these cipher groups, so might as well just throw him in here and see what he does. I mean, he's kind of like Rod Wave, but he's kind of not, and he's kind of like NLE, but he's kind of, yeah, this is gonna be a weird cipher if this is a group, but I'm assuming it has to work, right? Because what other options are there for just them to not do it? That's the worst case scenario. And then cipher 3 being Lil Keed, Chika, Baby Keem, and Jack Harlow. You can't have any group with just like the lesser known artists, because then that cipher won't have as many views and it won't draw as much attention. The best example of that being PNB Rock, Cap G, and Kamaya. One of the least memorable ciphers and probably one of the worst in the past couple of years. So that's how I feel about the 2020 XXL freshman class. I'll probably make another video. Do you like the list? Do you dislike it? Probably. It's cool to hate XXL, but leave a like if you did. Subscribe. Check out some of these other videos. And I'll talk to you in the next one. Thank you for watching.